don't touch anything.
It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.
Oh, welcome to The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton. I have a great guest today. We are in the start of the new year. We are in 2024, everybody. First of all, I hope everybody had a great new year. Please, I hope it was good. Have a good new year for 24, and you're safe and happy. Listen, that's what it's all about. Life has to be lived, not just survived. So, before I even get started, 2024 is here. My sponsor, Oliva Cigar, the best. When I say that, they've been with me for a year and a half. They are very, very open. They do so much stuff. At the end of this month, I am going to Nicaragua. I'll be there for a week at a festival and speaking at schools and going to roll cigars and doing a whole bunch of stuff in Nicaragua. So I want to thank them. Our book, Gangster Redemption, Going Crazy. Volume 2 coming out soon. Volume 2. We have another book, Gangster Redemption, and it takes you from my life from 2013 to today. So it's really interesting. And, of course, my cigars, the Crooked Diamond. So far, it is going crazy. 2024, we're going to be in New York. We're going to be everywhere with them. Things are going good. I am loving it. But I'm loving more my guest for today. Listen, I got to meet the owner of a club where I live called the Twisted Rooster. It is a fun, very fun, open club. I'm going to call it open. We're going to ask him what it's called. He is the author and the best-selling author, Amazon bestseller, The Lost Indian. And it is Jamit Kapadia. Jamit, welcome to the show.
Hey, Larry. How are you? Thank you for having me, Larry. And Happy New Year to you, too. You know,
yes, thank you.
It's been a great ride, but it's going to be even a fantastic roller coaster coming ahead on 2024.
Well, we're going to get into a lot with you. You got a movie coming out.
Yes, I do.
You know, your book is a bestseller. Interesting, great. And we got questions. Are you open? I got to meet Jamit through a friend of mine, Peter, another Bronx boy, and he owns a club. It's I'm not going to call. Is it a gay club?
No. In today's day and age, really, there is no labels. So that's how I call my club. It's no labels, all inclusive, and we support events that are entertained to each and every lifestyle of no matter who you are, what you do, and nobody cares.
I go to your club. I've been to the piano nights. I'm not going to call it a gay club, but they have like the SDC is a swingers group.
Yeah.
Now they meet there. There's other people. My couple friends, my friends, my girl and I at the time, another friend of mine, we all met there. We had fun. And I'll tell you the truth. Clubs like yours are more fun. There's no uptight people.
No.
And I like that atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, people... It's a different vibe. Once you walk in there, you are just having fun. It's just absolutely, you're in a different zone of your life. It's like people just forget the outside world. And
nobody judges you.
No, it's judgment free. It's like, we have drag shows, we have Texas Hold'em poker nights, we have karaoke nights, we have naughty bingo. It's like, it's all over the board. So like our demographics is, it's exactly what I visioned and I wanted to target, and that is from late 20s up. People that are my age who still wants to have fun, who wants to have a nice night out, but we are done with those dollar Jaeger shots and bar hopping days during my college days. So I wanted more like a destination spot.
I don't know. We had some shots the other night when I first wanted to meet you.
Just because I say I don't bar hop doesn't mean I don't do shots, Larry.
I got to meet and Jamit before the show. I always like to meet a guest. And I met him at his club. We had some shots. We had a nice time. Got to know him. Like I said, in Brevard County, now this is a very conservative county. I'm happy to see your club.
Thank you.
I really am. I'm happy to see a man like yourself prosper. And we're going to talk about your upbringing, your who you are. I'm going to jump right in with you. Okay. You're successful. Is this your first club you ever owned?
Yes. As a sole proprietor. So I used to be an investor and a silent partner at one of the restaurants in downtown Melbourne. But that was very short time, like a couple years, but I was like behind the scenes kind of a guy.
Which restaurant?
It used to be called PC Keats, which is now Hurricane Creek in that spot, downtown Melbourne.
I mean, I know downtown Melbourne very well. I'm surprised they didn't. You know, Matt's Casbah.
Yes,
I go to Main Street
right.
all the time. I go to all those places. The Italian guys who built the one across the street from Main Street.
It's
Remember
Ketty
that?
Corner from Meg O'Malley's, across from Meg O'Malley's.
Where the burger place was?
Yes.
You know
No,
what-
the burger place is still there. It's next to that.
Oh, it's a country place now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's cool. I forget the name of that country place.
Yeah.
You know, obviously downtown Melbourne has grown. I remember when it was a bad place way back, you know, in the day, and I'm talking now in the 80s and in the early 90s. It was a bad area. Now it's such an up and coming area. That's a great place to be. But your club is maybe a mile down the road.
Yeah.
I would say about.
Well, 2.9, but who's counting?
Oh, is it 2.9 miles? I didn't even know it's that far because it doesn't feel that far.
It doesn't seem that way.
No. And it's a standalone building, and it has a lot. I noticed another thing. You have good security.
Yes.
And is that because of the Pulse nightclub thing? And it's perceived, that club, Twisted Roosters, I'm not going to say gay because I've been in there so many times. And listen, I go there, and it's never like pushed on you or anything of that nature.
Nah.
We go there with girls and guys and fun. First of all, you're always open late. So what's open right now? Well, the Twisted Roosters open.
Let's go get twisted.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, like, you know, in order, like, you know, like it's, you know, LGBTQ plus. So it includes everything.
I'm going to stop you there.
Yes.
Are you a gay man?
Yes, of course I am.
Okay, well, I listen, I ask. You never know in today's world. And that's okay. No, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you know I don't judge anybody in the world, period. I'm the last person to judge. I'm an ex-con. I'm New York. Here's my question for you. What does the Q mean?
Queer.
What's the difference between queer and gay?
Well, it's just a lifestyle. It's not really typical pinpointing down to the right definition of it. It's just like it's that generation, it's that genre of people. It's just that lifestyle. Like, you know, they just say.
I'm very
yeah.
supportive of all communities, Hispanic, gay. I don't care.
Yes.
But I don't get the cue. And I even say to people, I had a guy from England on my show, and we had not an argument, but he couldn't answer it either. And I said, you know, I get it. LBGT, I'm in. LBGT community, you're welcome. Stop all the acronyms. Q, we, plus. Come on. Do we need it?
Well, you know, it's just like I said, it's once again the lifestyle and the generations and the generational gap. You know, just because we grew up with fax machines and dial-ups doesn't mean Wi-Fi doesn't work anymore or people don't understand that. It's just one of those kind of thinking pattern that people have evolved into. So to me, it's if that's what makes them happy, if that what identifies them, if that what makes them comfortable, then who are we to judge?
No, 100%. Listen, if you want to be called a chicken, I'll call you a chicken. I could care less. Listen, I'm not a politically
Call
correct.
me a rooster.
A rooster.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy who steps on anybody's identity. If you want to be called, I don't care. Nick, where do you stand on this as a young guy? You're 26 years old. I'm an old man. I don't have an old man next to me. I'm always the oldest in the room.
The Q doesn't confuse me.
It does not.
No, it doesn't. I don't.
See,
he's young. It doesn't confuse
you're a
him.
baby boomer, right?
Yeah, I'm a baby boomer.
I think you explained it better than the last guest, though.
You did.
I think
He did
that
a lot about the
just saying it's
lifestyle.
a lifestyle, and that's just the way you're trying to live.
Yeah.
We'll just settle with that as the Q.
Yeah, I guess you got it. I always say, you know, I'm always positive in everything. People who know me know how easy I am. They see me naked. I did a naked podcast. I mean, I have no problem getting I had the Libertarian president candidate for the Libertarian Party was sitting in this room only maybe a month and a half ago.
Amazing.
And, we had a great conversation about, the party and what I believe in. Because I'm more of a libertarian than anything. Because I don't identify as Republican. I don't identify as a Democrat. I am a very middle of the road guy. I'm accepting of I'm very socially liberal. Meaning, I could care less what you do in your own bedroom. I don't care what drug you do. I don't care. As far as fiscally, I don't like to see the government waste my money.
Right.
So I'm going to get it to you now because you are from Indian descent, correct?
Yes.
Is it acceptable in India to be gay?
Today, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Well, when I was born, it was not as friendly, not as acceptable, and it was frowned upon.
Well, that's America too.
Exactly.
Can I ask your age without
Oh yeah, I'm 51.
51 years old. So I get where you grew up. You're born in 72.
You're 72. Well, you can do math.
Yeah, I can. I was a bookie. So you're born in 1972.
Yes.
So I understand when you grew up into the 80s, and where I grew up, obviously, even the military it wasn't even don't ask, don't tell. It was whatever, as a person. But as far as India, now India is a very populous country. Is there a big gay community in India?
Yeah, well, so where I was born and raised and grew up and finished college, that was Mumbai, India.
That's the big city, is it?
That's, to me, if anyone wants me to describe Mumbai, I always tell them, I'm like, it's like, take a little bit of New York and a little bit of Hollywood and blend it together, and you have Mumbai. It's
well, of course they have probably the biggest movie place in the world. Where they're Bollywood.
Yep.
Is that where it is?
Yeah,
in Mumbai.
And plus, there's also a lot of Broadways, theaters, and
there's a lot.
So that's why it's a little bit of New York. And also the reason I said New York is because of the demographics, the population. It's all over the place. You find all cultures, all religions.
Do they have I don't see many African American when I see India pictures.
No, because there's not a huge population of that descent, if that makes sense. But
and why do you think that is?
I really don't know.
Okay, are they prejudiced?
Oh, me? No.
No, I know you're not.
Oh, yeah.
Is India is it is it a conservative or is it a liberal kind of base?
Well, it depends who you ask, right? And it depends your upbringing, your values, and how you were brought up, basically. Because to me, and it also depends on which decade you're asking people, right? Which generation you're asking this question. So this question can be anywhere from A to Z. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no complete or incomplete answer. To me, it's like people who are going to be racial are going to be racial. People who are going to be accepting are going to be accepting.
Okay. Have you been gay your whole life?
Yes.
I mean, did you come out at a young age?
Yes, I did.
To your parents and everybody?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever come out to your parents?
I did last year.
Congratulations,
to my mother.
I guess. And is she okay?
She's a surviving parent, so. Yeah.
Okay. Is she okay with everything?
Yeah, it caught me by surprise because my main reason to not let her know, because she's 87 now, and she's very fragile, and I'm a full-time caregiver for her.
Matter of fact, so am I. I have a lot of respect for each other for that.
Yes, I love that fact. And to me, I was trying to be more protective of her because I didn't want her to feel any kind of guilt of any sort.
Like that she did something wrong.
Yeah, or what did she miss? Or but you know what? I was very taken away and surprised by her response. And she goes, well, are you happy? I said, yes. She goes okay. And then she goes can we continue watching our show?
That was it. End of the story. She didn't care. You know what I've learned with elderly people? I take care of my mom. She'll be 91 in a couple months. My mom is so accepting of everybody.
I love
Whether
it.
She doesn't even know the N word. She could talk it, and you wouldn't even know it was like anything bad or anything.
Right.
She would never. My mother is the least hateful person in the world, and I really give them the kudos for raising me that way. Our whole family, where we had zero prejudice in our family.
I love it.
And, I think that's important. Nick, in now's generation, is it just accepted like?
Yeah, it's pretty normal. I don't think
Gay or straight or bi or anything. It does. Nobody cares.
No, I really don't think so.
No, and in today's generation, I also feel like it's like, it's all about what makes them happy and what's pleasure.
Well, I saw something on the internet the other day, and I was going to ask my next guest about it. I saw a thing about, people trying to say to other people, oh, fat's really not fat. You don't call them fat. Wait a minute. Every time they did it, he goes, that person who said that, dead. That person who said that, dead. Really? And it showed you that's unhealthy. Now, obviously, being gay is not unhealthy. It has nothing to do with it. But to celebrate being fat, listen, I'm fat. And I look at myself, I got to lose weight, not caring less what people think.
Well,
for my health.
Yeah, but PHAT is also fat.
PHAT.
Pretty hot and tempting. Pretty hot and tempting.
He had to go there. It's going to be a crazy show. No. So you grew up, you always knew you were gay. You went to college in Mumbai.
Correct.
What kind of degree did you get?
I got a bachelor's in commerce and economics. So which is equivalent to business administration here.
And now you work with a financial company, correct?
Yes. So I have been in financial industry since 1993. So for 30 years, I'm celebrating 30 years actually.
And very successful too, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that, which congratulations.
Thank you.
I love to see period people excel at whatever they do. So now you're successful. You end up wanting to get into the bar business. Now, you knew this area. You knew about the gay club that burned down called the Coal Keg.
Yes.
And you decided, wait, now there's no gay club. We need a gay club. Or, again, you don't call it a gay club.
All inclusive.
Right.
So, to me, here you're going to laugh at this. So, the interesting thing was, like, with my primary job, I travel a lot for work. Whenever I came back in town, I did not want to travel. So I'm like, okay, where do I go to watch these type of shows, to have this kind of environment, to have this kind of a dance club that I'm looking for? And the closest thing, like, for example, the drag shows that we provide at Twisted Rooster, if you want to see that same quality of drag shows, the closest thing from Melbourne is you have to travel to West Palm or Orlando.
So, and that's an hour and 20 minutes or something. Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, you know what? I need to create my own watering hole. I don't care if someone comes in and drink or not. I will have a bartender for myself. I'll go in there. I'll turn on the disco lights, and I'll see what happens.
To let the audience know, if you are anywhere in Florida, actually, on the East Coast is where we are in Melbourne, Florida, which is, I try to let people know we are in the Space Coast, they call it, which is where the rockets go up, Cocoa Beach area. This is the area. You have a club. Now, you put a lot of money into that club. Can you tell us what you put into that?
Like the amount?
Yeah, what you put into it. Yeah.
What I put into it.
Did you buy it outright, or are you leasing?
So
or
when
renting?
I bought it, it was totally different name. The whole.
It wasn't a club, was it?
It was a
cigar place.
It was a hookah pub.
Hookah pub. That's right. After the cigar place, it went to a hookah place.
Correct.
Is hookah still a thing? Do people still like hookah?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
I think cigars
in
are like
India
pushing
there is a
hookah
lot
out.
of hookah bars.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, there's
but they're
a lot
all
of
these flavored ones too, non-tobacco related and stuff like that.
There's a lot of
too.
hookah bars in St. Louis because of the Bosnian culture.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Well, see, we used to have a lot of hookah bars here because the younger generation used to go, but then they stopped tobacco under 21.
Oh, yeah,
So then a lot of those places
Yeah, the
were
one
having
downtown
challenges.
Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Well, your club. You decided to look for a club.
Yeah. And then
What clicked you on that location and that spot? It's a great one.
Because I was looking for having your own parking lot, B, a destination spot so they are not bar hopping anywhere, and then 3, it's to make sure that you come in over there carefree, judgment zone free, and be happy. And I just felt that plaza, I'm the only business in that plaza that opens in the evening and nighttime.
So you have
all the
all the
others are
parking.
daytime. Yeah.
You could use all the parking.
Correct. So when I walked in, like, if I showed you pictures of before and after, you're gonna go like crazy. It's crazy. But as soon as I walked in, my friends said, "You're crazy. You shouldn't be doing this. Do not spend your money in this. This is totally like, what are you gonna do with this place?" Kind of like a gross look.
Did you rent it?
Yeah, it's leased.
It's a leased place, X amount of but you put in money. How much did you put in?
$650,000.
You put $650,000 into a leased place.
Correct.
That's gutsy.
How does that work? Yeah.
Well, no, he bought part of, to let the audience know, as a guy who owned bars, he bought the liquor license he owns.
Yeah, so I own my own liquor license. So that's part of that.
Today, a liquor license costs $400,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you get any of the money if he sells for?
So see, with the
putting
liquor
equity
license,
owns
it's
the
like
liquor license.
Yes.
I know, but I'm saying for the building. Do you
So-
get any equity in it if he sells?
No. So here's the thing. I can sell the corporation with my lease. I can transfer my lease. So let's say if I wanted to sell Twisted Rooster, because Twisted Rooster right now, it's also copyrighted and trademarked, because eventually I'm going to start franchising that rooster.
I like that.
And then
Cool
we can
logo.
get into that a little more.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Nick, the whole concept is, let's say if I want to change that location and move somewhere else, I can take that same liquor license there. I don't have to rebuy it anywhere.
Okay.
It's your asset.
Oh, you own it.
Oh.
So I can sell that separately for $400,000 anytime I want.
So that even increases in.
Yeah.
That has equity
When I
itself?
owned them, I paid $120.
Wait, you can sell your own liquor license to somebody?
Yeah, they only give out
person
a
to
certain
person.
amount.
Oh.
Like,
So
you can
it is
sell
like
me
an
your
asset.
car.
It appreciates?
Yeah, you can sell me your car. You can sell me your
Oh.
house. It's an
Well,
asset.
how does that work if there's so many rules? Do you have to make sure they're going to follow the rules
No,
and up
the
to code?
state gives out liquor licenses.
Yeah.
And I bought 3 of them as investments. Put one of them in the store in the air, because they are also area bound
So if
too.
the state,
You do have to watch area.
how can you just sell it if the state?
You
is the
own
one
it. It's
assigned
an
to-
asset, because they only give out a number of liquor licenses to an area by population. And
So think about it this way. You went and bought a car from a dealership.
Yeah.
You own the car. Bank owns the loan.
Yep.
State license, me car license.
Oh,
The state
okay,
owns it,
okay.
right?
So the state also has to
you
get
can still sell that
involved.
car as far as they're paying off that loan.
So then they're now dealing with the
So
state.
it's that
when you
concept.
sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's an asset. It's just like also your house.
But he don't owe anything to the state. He
No,
bought
I get
it.
Correct.
that.
They just monitor.
I get
It's
it. My
their
confusion
rules.
was that the state has so much code and rules.
Right, like he
and how
can't
it
sell
would-
that to a convicted felon.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But then
Okay.
again, when I'm selling it, it's beyond just the venue. It's all the assets, all the equity, sweat and equity, goodwill, all
Yeah.
that stuff counts.
The name, the reputation.
The bar chairs that I have, each bar chairs, they're $350 a piece. That's an asset.
I get all that.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand how the state would. So
Yeah.
you're just selling basically the title to them, and then now the state is making sure that they follow
No,
the
like
rules.
you remember I was looking at the doghouse.
Yes.
The doghouse, they wanted $450,000.
Okay.
I went and started doing the research on the license, because the place itself I could build out for 50 grand.
Yeah.
It's a local pub. I could build that out. So that's not, and if the lease isn't right, I would never do it, because that they could close, they could not renew a lease. They want to sell the whole plaza, you're out. He has probably a long-term lease if he put that money in.
I do.
There you go.
And that was the other attraction. When I went to that place, they still had 15 years left.
Wow. See, you won't buy anything under probably 10 because you have to see where you can get your money back.
And now I have 10 left because we just celebrated 5 years.
Oh, is it 5 years already?
Yep, in
Wow.
December.
That's just a little history on liquor licenses. But liquor licenses are also area bound.
Yeah.
You can't just take my liquor license and go to Tallahassee with it.
No, you can't.
You have
Yeah.
to be in a certain area, because they only
So you're
give
selling
out.
the Twisted Roosters liquor license, so it has that name on it, or they can have whatever name they
So
want.
yeah,
His corporation, I'm
Twisted-
sure.
Yeah, Twisted Rooster is a DBA, which is doing business as, but I have my own LLC.
Okay.
And it's owned by his LLC.
Yeah.
I had 3 of them, and they were assets because I paid $120
That's
for
cool
them.
to know that they're assets.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought you just went right to the state to get one.
No, no, you can only do that when you have a what they call 5149 license. That's like a restaurant doesn't have to have.
Yeah.
If you have more seats for a restaurant, then you could get the license under that. But we used to play with that too. But that's a game.
Yes. So, but that's the good risk that we take. Like, if let's say if something happened, if this did not work, if we had to fold, I still have that leg to stand on.
He's got the liquor license. You can't lose.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
And yet, I've never
Well,
seen
you
him
can.
where they got
You
down.
can lose them, can't you?
What?
Like if you don't follow the rules, the state can take your
Well,
liquor
yeah,
license?
if you get dings.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but and that's hard. You know, they might say you
If
might
they
have
lose,
to.
everybody was losing.
Well,
their
it's
liquor
No, you have to
You
close
can-
the business,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you still got the asset.
It's like you can lose your driver's license if you do a lot of bad
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
See, what happens with a liquor license, Nick, is the reason they're valuable is because they only give out certain amount of liquor licenses.
Yeah.
In fact, they even have a lottery, or they used to have the lottery,
They still do.
and that's great. I used to put in for the lottery. If you get a lottery, it's like $5
That's just-
grand.
yeah.
And now you own the liquor license. You can sell it for $150 grand.
But lottery, those are free.
I know, but I'm saying, but you have to put $5 grand up for some
Yeah.
educational bullshit.
Yeah.
Because we used to put in for it every year. One of my friends won it, and it's literally a lottery, and now you just won money.
Yeah, it's one out of like million.
Well, it's a lot, but a lottery. I'm just giving it. People buy them. That's what I'm saying, and they're assets. And they go by population actually.
Yeah.
So if an area area grows, until they give more liquor licenses, you have a big asset.
Yeah.
Because how you can't open a club with all these people unless you have a liquor license. Simple as that.
And there are different types of liquor license
Right,
too.
right. But let's get into liquor
Yeah.
license. So you buy the club, you do all of this stuff. Was it a goal, a life goal? I mean, you're young, so at this point you're 46 years old. You say, are you single?
51 and single, yes.
Are you always been single, or?
No. I had a few relationships, and right now it's not like I'm shut down, but I'm not actively looking for something. If it comes and it happens.
I totally get what you're saying, because listen, you're at that age, you're happy,
Yeah.
you're doing what you want, you're having fun, you own a nice club, you still work the financial stuff, correct?
Yep, the financial technology.
So you own financial tech, and you have how many people working for you?
Well, in my team, the company itself, it's like 8,500 to 9,000 employees. But
You didn't mention it. Let's give them a shout out at a good
Right.
company.
Yes, but we do have in my team alone, it's 21 of us, and they are we work with 7
You're the
different
leader of
time
the
zones.
team?
Yes.
Okay. And now you do whatever financial stuff you do. And does that still take up a lot of your time?
Oh yes, that's my full-time job, and then more, and then some. That's what I do, like day and weekends and nights, and when you travel and stuff. So, luckily, the way you do it, it's like it's like you put this team together that can help you. You can trust them. Like, I barely have to like do anything but like CPA related, legal stuff related, and things of that nature here and there. But I do have a general manager, Scott Clark, and he is amazing. He runs that place for me.
Well, listen, people are, they gravitate towards success.
Yeah.
I've learned that. Now, so you've come from India, everything's good. Does the Indian community in this area, do they support you? Do you know the Indian community here?
Well, I do know the Indian community here, but they are, it's not the younger generation or like my age or whatnot. It's more like 65 plus.
They are against what you do? Or?
No, they're not against what I do, but it's too late for them to be out. I mean, we don't start our shows till like 11:30. Well, Nick would love that.
Yeah, us old guys. Are you trying to say I'm old?
No, I'm just trying to tell you you're mature and marinated.
I actually do go out sometimes late. depending, it's just, I'm actually, believe it or not, I work a lot late because we do, it's less hectic in here. So we do videos and stuff like that, Nick and I, and we do look for places. Now, are you open till 3 at any time, or is it all 2 o'clock?
No, just 2 o'clock because that's the county regulation.
I thought there were a few clubs that were allowed to be open.
That is unincorporated area with just it just passed where there are certain regions within Brevard County where you're allowed to stay open for 24/7, and I believe that was because now. Don't hold me against this.
I got to open one there, man.
Yeah, right. But then you attract the people that you attract also. But you do have, I think it's because that regulation was passed, and don't hold me against this because I may be wrong, but this is what I had heard, that because when we had that Hard Rock Casino that was planning on opening up, and that was an unincorporated area, and they wanted to be 24/7. So then they created that regulation for all the unincorporated areas.
Yeah, that means they're run by the county.
So there are like few bars, handful.
I mean, that the reason I only say that is important because it's, you say attract people. What I notice, and I don't know if you know what Foo Bar is. Okay,
yeah.
Foo Bar, I think, used to be open till 3 for some reason. I don't know why, maybe. But a lot of the bartenders and barmaids and waitresses and stuff from clubs used to go to Foo Bar afterwards. Now, Foo Bar was a wild club, too. Let me let you know that.
Yeah, back in the day. It was when you had, but I don't remember it being open past 2 because that's, see,
that's Melbourne.
Technically, I'm West Melbourne.
Oh, you're in West Melbourne.
Rooster. Yeah, because
I did not know
anything past Dairy towards
west of Dairy
is
West Melbourne. Are they're a really pretty kind of conservative town.
Yes.
Are they? Did they give you a hard time?
Not at all. It was absolutely a
I know the mayor very well, Al Rose.
Yeah. And the city was very helpful. In fact, believe it or not, because my opening date, my grand opening was December 7th. December 6th was soft opening. I got my keys handed to me when I signed everything was October 31st. Now, between the holidays, you count, I had 17 business working days to turn around this place and open it, including all kinds of construction permits, plumbing permits, everything.
Wait a minute. You say you bought it in October of 5 years ago.
I got my keys on October 31st.
And you had a month and a half to open.
Nope, 17 working days. My goal was
October to November.
Well, starting November, but then you have Veterans Day holiday, you have Thanksgiving 4 days.
I guarantee people were working.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. So, like, to me, I had, and plus, not only like having city employees, just to find also the labor help, for the things I want to do, and the right kind of people who can come true to my vision.
I got you. And your vision came alive.
Yes.
Again, I've been in there years ago. I went there and we loved the dual pianos.
The dueling pianos, yeah. I did that in the starting when we had live entertainment evenings on Thursdays. Right. We used to have it was like around the world. I used to bring flamenco, like to bring some Spanish, like, the Spain country culture in there. I did samba dancers to bring in some Brazilian culture in there. I did Bollywood experience. And in fact, I did that myself in drag. And I gave them
in drag?
In a whole drag.
You don't do that often, do you?
No, I like to do it just to be creative, to be fun, to be happy, and just be someone else.
We discussed this. As a matter of fact, to let my audience know, I'm going to actually be getting made up with Nick. Nick, you agreed to do it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Nick and I are going to get made up
at this point,
by two of the drag people, right?
Yeah.
Well, is that what they call drag? I don't know. How do you call them?
Well, you call them female
queens,
impersonators.
Not people.
No, you call
female impersonators.
Female impersonators.
Queens.
Queens?
Drag queens. But yeah, politically correct female impersonators.
I found out
because they're not all transgender. They're just dressing in drag.
No, matter of fact, what I found out, I have friends of all persuasions or whatever, and I said to so do the trans people, he goes, whoa, Larry, you can't say trans.
No, you couldn't say the other word. You can say
Tranny?
trans. Yeah.
You cannot say tranny.
Why?
Well, because that's
why I
like,
didn't say
like
it.
just calling someone with like a C word. It's disrespectful.
I don't see. I'm not understanding that. And I listen. I respected it when they told me, and I don't do it. I'm just doing this now, just because it still confuses me. I don't see anything wrong with tranny. I mean, it's just short for trans.
I have to bleep it?
Nah, but that's just like a slang.
Is it to the point where I have to bleep that, or are we not there yet?
I don't know. You tell
You
me.
know?
To me, it's disrespectful. It's like,
If
Yeah.
that is the case, I will again.
Yeah.
I know a transgender person, a friend
You
of
can
mine.
say trans.
yeah,
You
a
can say
oh, he's a
transgender.
transgender.
He's a nice guy. I know him. Looks like a woman though.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was talking to him one day, and I said, "And how's the tranny community?" And he stopped me, and he knows I don't mean anything.
Oh, of course.
Negative
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
bad, or I'm not
It's-
saying anything.
It's just
against
the
him.
education part about it. But that doesn't make you in wrong because you don't know about it, so you're not in wrong.
That's why I don't want to say LBGT.
Yeah.
Q, I don't want to say. I
Right.
will say LBGT. I'm very
That's
positive.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. We've
Yeah.
got to that point. You don't have to say
You don't
the
have
Q.
to say the whole thing.
That's what the
You can
plus
just
is
say
for.
LGBTQ or
No.
LGBT.
See, you can't even.
But see, to me, that's just me. Like,
Yeah.
but now that you have LGBTQAI plus, like
I'm
it
not
keeps on
doing
adding.
LGBT,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
we're good. And everybody knows I'm all for whatever. But getting back into your story, let's go back. So you decided to write a book,
Correct.
a bestseller, no less, an Amazon bestseller.
Yes, in 2 weeks it was. I was surprised.
Well, because that's selling. All goes by sales. Okay, so what do you express? And thank you for the signed copy. And what I'm doing for the audience is, Jamit was very nice to donate 6 books.
Yep.
Right? And we have these books we're going to be giving away to the audience.
And they're autographed.
And they're all autographed. And it is an interesting story. I breezed through it, did not totally read it because I didn't have time.
Right.
But going back into the book, you're very open and honest about everything in your life. And I find that so good today as a successor. So you must be at a great part in your life. You're very happy.
I am. I'm content. I'm not guilty anymore.
You felt guilty beforehand?
Well, it's because it was just that pressure, like the pressure of
Did your work
not
know
my
you were
family
out?
not knowing, but now, like all my cousins, they all know it. Like, so it's not that it's an unsaid or unheard topic, but to me, it's
See, I think it should be that way. I think it should even be either celebrated or vilified.
Yeah.
You are a person. I don't care if you were gay or straight or bi or whatever. It doesn't matter. I've met you as a
Yeah.
person. You're fun to be around. You're a lot of laughs, drinking. And obviously, I am too in that way.
Yeah.
There's nothing that bothers me. It really doesn't. And I look at people so differently because I had such a rough time going through prison and stuff of that
Yeah.
nature. So in my life, I look at it a whole different animal. Like me, I look at it and say, people should be who they are.
yes,
Obviously, I understand why they can't. I mean, I do totally understand it. Could be a mom who's elderly, could, put her over the edge or whatever. I think, though, what happens is people realize people don't care mostly. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think people care that much. Because if they care that much, then they either hide in themselves or something of
Yeah.
that nature. And listen, what people want to do. I mean, listen, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You can't please everybody in the world. Now, are you, okay, let's get back more into this. First, the book. What made you write a book?
Okay, so I wanted to share my story. I wanted to share where I came from and where and who I have become and where I want to go next. And this story, I wanted it to give one very strong message, and that is never give up. Secondly, I wanted this not to be like a biography or just telling my stories, but I wanted it to be in a storytelling way that will motivate people and inspire people to do something and just not to give up.
You know, I love that because that's what I often tell people. When I got arrested, the government took $6 million from me. Go to prison, I'm a convicted felon, bad. I was with the Gambinos, I was a mobster and all that, and I could come out on top. You know, no matter what happened. I got out of prison at 46.
Wow.
When you opened your bar. And I got out of prison, my age was 46, and now I'm 62, and I'm loving life more than ever. I love to struggle, too. Some people go, what do you mean? I just think it keeps you on your toes. It just, you like to do things.
It's an experience.
And people, then, you know what happens then? Success is more rewarding.
Correct.
And people who are given everything, how do they judge success?
Yeah, like you cannot celebrate or embrace that success unless you have gone through some rocky roads, learned
true.
some lessons, and not repeat your mistakes.
I often tell Nick, and I tell anybody with us, if you keep making the same mistake over and over, then there's a problem. Then you're either not cut out for something or whatever it is. But if you learn and you keep evolving, you're gonna get good. Because no matter how much he's smarter in certain things than I am, I have experience over.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
Life experience, And I think that's the only thing that we have.
That's one thing that you cannot train anyone.
No.
And that's something you have to go through it yourself. And that's what's the baseline of this. Because from the very beginning of the childhood, my dad was a very strong-hearted human being, very focused. From the day I was born, he knew he was going to bring me to States to give me
an opportunity.
Right. And he put me in an English medium school, which English was a primary language. Despite of everybody in the neighborhood, the relatives, they all were like, oh my gosh, you're making the biggest mistake. You guys don't know English. No one knows over here English. How are you going to teach them? How are you going to do this and whatnot? And all that is part of that beginning part of this book, and the transition that went through, the struggle, the whole process that you went through. And that's because this book is of those three segments. Major three segments are Mumbai, India, where I was raised and born, when I discovered I was gay.
And how many people are in Mumbai, just to give an idea?
Oh, God, I don't know.
It's got to be, Nick,
It's the second largest population, next to China.
No. India just
in
passed,
Mumbai.
No, India just passed China in number of people.
Oh, it
just
did?
this year.
Oh, well, maybe it
just
did.
this year. And you can find that out anywhere. But getting back to your story, so you wanted to show them where you grew up?
Yep. And how I became who I
Do you
became.
talk about that? You're coming out and everything?
Yeah, well, I wasn't coming out then. It was
'Cause I
just
didn't
in
read
me. Yeah, it's just in me. But it also takes you to a whole journey of why I became one of the best actor awards on a non-musical Broadways, because that's how I was able to express myself, and I was able to let myself into that different role.
We're going to get into this in a minute. I wanted that. That's our next segment here.
23 million residents.
23, and what is in
Mumbai?
China?
Mumbai is
23 million.
That's more than most states.
Second
in the
largest
United-
city in the world.
Yeah, I think Mexico City is the
Oh,
number
so
one.
Mumbai, but we were talking about India.
Only Tokyo has more people.
No,
Was that not it?
But you were talking about city or the country?
The country is past China.
India is okay.
Yeah, if
because-
you look it up, most populous country in the world is China. Is India now.
Yes.
It just passed China.
Wow.
That's amazing. So this is the next one I want to talk about. You have a movie coming out.
Oh my God.
How exciting. It's going to be on Netflix, correct?
Well, eventually it will move to Netflix. First, we are just going to start with movie theaters.
Did you send it? Has it gone to Cannes, France? Is it going there?
Not yet, but the film director, Emmy, she is amazing. And they're still trying to figure a good game plan out, but they're going to start launching it with movie theaters. Then they were talking about Sundance platform, the production platform. Yeah, and then to Netflix.
It's in Cannes, France. That's where it is.
Yeah, and then to Netflix or wherever it takes us. But it's scheduled to be released like sometime in March or April.
What is the name of the movie?
Twisted Divorce Party.
So
the trailer is out.
The trailer is out.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. If you Google Twisted
Divorce,
check it out.
Party.
Nick, see if we can find that. Twisted.
Is it on YouTube?
Is it on YouTube?
It should be on YouTube.
Yeah. He's gonna look for it. So I got to watch the trailer. It's pretty funny. It is mostly filmed in your club.
Yes. 75% of the movie is
Twisted Divorce Party?
Yeah, Twisted Divorce Party.
And yeah, he's going to look that up.
Or you can even try to search because they just released that trailer, so they might be still releasing on YouTube, but you may want to try to see. There's a Facebook page.
Let's get back to us, and he'll figure that out. The getting back to the movie, was it you? Whose brainchild was it? Yours or somebody else's?
Okay, so this is a not funny question. This is an interesting question and a funny answer or story, however you want to look at it. So, Amy, the film director, October during Halloween 2022.
COVID time.
Yeah, came to my bar, and no, we were past COVID.
Yeah, just past COVID.
Yeah, just past. Because we had a Halloween party. We do like $1,000 costume cash prize contest. Over the weekend.
I gotta come there. I'm gonna come naked.
Yes, make it happen, and you'll get arrested. But
Won't be the first time.
I don't know. So she was talking to me about like, oh wow, this is a nice club or whatnot, and then she started to understand and know me or whatnot, and I was like, hey, I'm a professional actor.
And you said in Mumbai,
I was a non-musical Broadway actor. So you know how people over here, like when they go through college, they have like some type of a part-time job that they have. Mine was non-musical Broadway. I did 4 shows over the weekend, and that was my
every weekend.
Yeah, that was my slut money. Yeah.
Your what?
Slut money. Like for me to spend it on.
I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, you made extra money by being an actor. Yeah. Did you think about coming to America and being an actor on Broadway?
Absolutely. My goal was to be a professional actor, like either in TV or Bollywood or something. But because after we migrated, your commitments, your responsibilities change. I started to take care of my parents, and that's the second segment of migrating and coming to the land of opportunities where your dreams can come true, and it has come true for me.
You are great for America. No, you are great for America because you literally are a success story. You came here with a dream and achieved it.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to do.
Oh, of course. You're just starting, I say. But you came here really wanting to be a Broadway actor.
Well, I wanted to come. I wanted to come here not knowing where it's going to go, but it was on my mind that I would love to move forward in the acting field.
Because New York, for being a play actor, is the mecca of the world.
Yes.
I mean, the world. People know that.
Oh, God, yes.
It's, you go to Broadway, you're a Broadway actor. First of all, they're mega rich. They make a lot of money. Well, but it is the place in the whole world.
I've seen Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not on Broadway.
Mary Jane is. Mary Jane's on Broadway, dude. Come on. She's a mega playwright or actor.
Sometimes it's always good to say yes, dear.
I don't know. I know
42nd Street, okay?
See, there you go. That's that generation, though. That's that generation.
Yeah, it is.
But no, I migrated. The first city we came for the very first time we landed was Chicago.
Oh, your family landed in Chicago.
That's where we migrated.
What got you to
Like downtown Chicago, or
what
part?
Okay, so Chicago. So we applied for the green card to become a naturalized citizen, which is also that whole process is in
And
that
you
book
are
too.
now.
Oh yeah, I became citizen in 2000. No, 2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
for a long time, 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah. But this is my second renewal passport now.
7 years after you got here, became a citizen.
Right. And that's because, okay, so once you're a green card holder, after 5 years, you can become a naturalized citizen. So my parents became naturalized citizen, but apparently they couldn't find my file. So it took another couple of years, but here I am. So to me, instead of 98, because we came in 92, they became citizen in 97, and I became in 2000.
yeah, you
is
did
there
93.
a lower than a green card you can be here?
Yes. You
Okay.
could come what they call work visas.
Yeah.
Okay.
H-1
But
visas
that's a
and stuff.
6-month visa.
What about minors?
I don't know the law on minors. I do know that you could come here, like people from Canada come down here and they can only stay here for 6 months.
Yeah.
They have to go back.
Right.
Okay.
But
And
like,
that's total. So you could do 2 weeks, then come back to it's in a year. So it's not like I could come 6 months, go home for a
Oh,
month,
yeah.
and come back. No.
no. Yeah, I was 20 years old when I came.
And did you guys get a green card right away for living here?
No, so my dad had applied for a green card in 1982, and our first interview call was 1992.
So how do
years.
you stay here then? How does that work?
No, you were not here. We couldn't be here.
He wasn't here from 82.
I came here
he
in
wasn't
92.
here. Okay. Okay.
So
92.
82 he applied, and the way you can apply for green card, you cannot just apply for green card. There has to be like some kind of a connection. So my dad's younger brother, who's married to my mom's younger sister.
Okay.
So that's what I always called my grandfather. I'm like, he was a smart income tax officer, tax collector. He had like 6 daughters into 3 families. It's like less relatives. I don't know.
Oh,
But,
he was a floozy. He was all over the place.
now you wanted to make sure the girls are protected.
Yeah.
But anyway, so because of the blood relative relation of brother to a brother, you were able to apply for the green card. But then that's that process that you wait for that 10 years.
of that.
Oh, and then it's not easy after you get that interview. Also, it's like they drill you, like the American embassy with the questions. They put you like in separate rooms.
Oh, really?
Oh my God! And you better have all the answers matching. And like I had to like in India, you have like large families. Like you have like 7 siblings, and like
Yeah.
and dads had 4 siblings. I was like 11, and then they are 3, and they are branches. And I'm like, oh girl.
Oh my God! You could. Were you nervous?
I was, but we all answered it correctly because obviously it's our relatives, and we have.
I mean, you're already 22 years old.
Yes.
I mean, when you got here.
No,
So
I
you
was
were
20.
11.
I was 20 when I got here.
20, yeah. Okay, you were born in 71, so you were...
I was born in 72.
Oh, 72,
92,
right,
I
right.
came here, so I was 20. And so after you became a national, and then you go through the process, you have your green card, which is
What was the
actually not
day?
in green color.
What was the day like when they were like, "Okay, you're approved"?
Oh, so
What was that
it's
day like?
actually like an oath-taking ceremony. And they actually bring you on stage like you graduated, and
Well,
they hand
other than
you,
that, like your family, like
I mean,
did
was
you
it
get a call?
exciting?
Yeah, what
Is
was
it
that?
Oh my
like a
God.
party?
Yeah,
that's
We're
what I was wondering.
leaving. Bring the relatives, call
in
everybody.
my head, since I was like, 8 or 10 years old, it was drilled in my head that I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go to America. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then, so today, I always say technology is two-edged sword. It's good and it's bad. But the good about that is the evolution that technology has done has brought all these countries so close. Including video chats and just I can easily hop on a plane now and go anywhere, like without any hassle, or wait for 2 months for a visa or a pass, like stuff like that. So, but back then it's like I had no clue. All I had done is like visioned, like, oh my God, there'll be like malls
pictures and
the-
stuff,
like, I had just saw some of the pictures.
And when you eventually got here, was it what you expected? Was it more? Was it less? Let down or not? What was it?
Did you go through culture shock at all?
Yeah, culture shock.
Huge culture shock. Let me start with vocabulary alone, grammar alone, pronunciation.
Did you speak English at all?
So I was in a British Catholic school since kindergarten. So
Catholic, they're
okay,
screwed
so
up.
ain't and won't are not in our vocabulary. Double negatives are not in our vocabulary.
Right.
Like, you know, so those kind of
They shouldn't be either, you know. They're wrong.
But like and I'm guilty of using it all the time now also. So it
Yeah, well, we all mess up. I'm pretty good about that because I had a lady that I work with. Whenever I said a double negative, it was and it got into my head. When I hear a double negative, it opens my eyes to that.
Yes.
So,
but like, okay, so coming and that's the middle segment of few chapters that I talk about of when I migrated. It's the whole process about going through becoming a citizen. That was a whole new ordeal. And then my first job, and then just the currencies alone. Like, okay, to me, you would not believe, like, I was trying to find a job without any experience. Mm-hmm. So I would take a bus or a train. I would go,
this is in Chicago.
Well, no, from Chicago, well, the weather did not suit us. So it was like a bittersweet departure from the family. But we then went to California at my cousin's place.
Where in California? Southern?
San Jose.
Oh, so, okay.
Northern California. And there I started going to like Oakland Mall. And I would take 2 trains, 2 buses to get there. Just to like see what I can find for the job.
For a job.
Yeah. So, and then I would literally like.
And how old are you at this time?
I was
22?
20.
Oh, right away.
So I was going around each store, first floor, make a circle.
And you went into every store
filling
filled
out
applications
everywhere.
Wow.
And then I found a job fair at, that Macy's was having at that Oakland Mall.
And you worked at Macy's?
Yes, that was my very first job.
My grandmother worked in Macy's in 1930 or 20s. My grandmother was on Broadway. She was a singer.
Oh, wow.
And she was obviously born in 1902 or 1903.
Yep.
What do you
That
laugh?
is so far.
Yeah, but no. So
That's my grandmother.
1902.
Yes.
1902.
Jesus.
All 3, my grandmother, my grandfather was 02. And they went through the Depression. My parents were born in the Depression. My mom's 90. She was born in 1933.
What made it so depressing?
No work. People that had food there was 70% of the country was out of work. 70%.
ouch.
Go look at the Great Depression in 1929 when the stock market crashed. 70% of all wealth was disappeared.
I heard we were in a secret depression right now.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so. In 1929, 70% of the stock market people lost 70% of their wealth in a day. The stock market crash in 1929 is a
Did they
history
riot?
lesson. Huh?
Did they riet?
There's no riots.
Could you imagine if that happened
sleeping in
today?
the streets.
Could you imagine
Oh,
if
it
that happened
happened.
today?
It happened in
You have to have strength.
2007? 2008?
Yeah.
You have to have strength if you have no food.
No, listen, it's not even, it's about working hard,
Yes.
Like you said. I think what people don't get, and a lot of people do, is the Indian people are hardworking people. Most of the Indian people I've met are hardworking people. And I don't know if they got that because of coming here from where they are in India. Obviously, with that many people, jobs must be rough. Obviously, your population is skyrocketed, and I don't know how they could support so many people with the money, like you said, the exchange rate. The United States dollar is so strong compared to India right now. You can go back to India and be a trillionaire.
Oh my God, $1 is like around 80 rupees or something, 82 or whatever.
Yeah, and
just the other day when I was sending money to my cousin for a gift we are buying, my cousin. But either way, it was like $1 to 83.
Amazing. Man. I'll send you, 200 rupees, $2 or $3 or whatever it is.
But then the cost of living is that higher too. Like here, you can buy milk for like $4 for a gallon. There, for a gallon, which they go by liters, but that they will be spending like 500 rupees. So like it's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got you. So it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
if you want to really cost to live, I guess it goes for everywhere we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now let me get back into you. So now your story comes here. You decide, how in the world does a man like you get to Brevard County, Florida, central place in the middle of, I hate to say nowhere. We are about an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes east of Orlando, Florida,
Yes.
which is the mouse.
Yep.
Now, have you been to Disney?
Yes, many times, and I don't want to go anymore.
Me too. I'm with you.
It's like when we have relatives, they come, and I'm like, I'll drop you off.
Oh, I know.
I'll be at a hotel
the
bar.
The lines,
Yeah.
that's not me at all. But getting back, how do you get here?
So, in California, obviously, as we all know, the cost of living is very high. And I was at Macy's for 8 months. And like I said, I had to support mom and dad as well, right? So like...
Oh, they weren't working?
No, they didn't have jobs.
Because they couldn't work? Or?
Correct, because they were not fluent English speaking. So, and like... It was
you
hard.
were, though.
Yeah, because I grew up in
the Catholic.
Its primary language is English in the British Catholic school. So, well, at that time, I was making like somewhere around like $5 an hour. But either way, I was like, this is not going to cut it. Because, like, yes, our family is very strong. They care for each other, very loving. But like we stayed at their place at 8 months. And it's like, after a while, like, okay, enough is enough. We need to figure out things.
Now, you are getting a job at Macy's and you have a degree in finance at this point.
Correct. But the transcripts would not allow me to make it equivalent to business administration. I had to go back to school to finish certain courses because they thought that my economics transcripts were only for macro and I need microeconomics as well and blah, blah,
Did
blah.
you get it in America?
Well, no.
I don't blame you. I mean, again, I went to college and I could care less about my college
No.
career. What helps me more than anything is my life experience.
Correct.
And doing things. I think college is good more for open your eyes, more for connections,
Yes.
more for a lot of things. But so you come here, you have a degree, you did good in it in Mumbai, you had a degree ready to go. You come to America, you're working in Macy's as a clerk or whatever, or a stocker or whatever.
Well, I was a cashier.
A cashier.
In a children's department. And trust me, I had no clue what guess, like people goes like, do you have Guess jeans? I'm like, guess what? And
like the
yeah,
Guess
they'll
the
be like,
brand.
oh, do you still carry those 90210 shirts? I'm like, oh, let me look at that style number. It's like, no, it's a TV show. And mind you, now I can speak Burberry and Prada fluently. But even at that time, like you just think about little things that people it doesn't even cross their mind. It's like 1 cent. How would I know it's also called penny? Unless I'm educated to it. Think about it.
A what?
Like nicknames
We
to
have a
our
lot of
coin
names for
currency.
things.
Like 5 cents is a nickel.
Right.
So when people go, it's like, hey, can you hand me 2 nickels? I'm like, what is 2 nickels? Do you want 2 5 cents? Is that what you want?
Oh, you didn't know what a dime or a nickel
No,
or
you
a
don't.
quarter.
You don't know these currencies. And anyway,
Little things like that you don't get.
Yeah, it's like, and there's also a story in the book regarding my first experience. My very first burger was Jack in the Box, and you're going to laugh your ass out when you'll see how I had to struggle to even figure out how to fill up my Coke glass. But
With the machine.
yes. But
It's like as if he
coming
left prison.
to back to your question, Larry, regarding Brevard County. So the cost of living, I had to do something, and so my mom's younger sister, she lives in Melbourne. She's been in Melbourne since I was born and before that.
And I always often wonder how somebody would get here.
So she suggested, come here. It's a lower cost of living. It's in Melbourne and blah, blah, blah. So I came. And then she actually suggested that I go to this job fair that Space Coast Credit Union was having.
Space Coast Credit
And
Union.
I got my job as a teller.
At Space
Coast
What
Credit
a
Union.
story.
And I started there as a full-time teller at $6.20 an hour.
This is a great story. And go ahead then. And how long do you stay there before you do what you're doing now, which you're very successful at?
Yeah, so I stayed with Space Coast Credit Union for 5 years, right? But within that 5 years, I was determined, once again, never give up. I'm like, okay, now I need another job. I need to do something so I can at least get like a 1-bedroom apartment for me, mom, and dad. Okay? And we were able to find at Sugar Mills, which is something else now. It's off of Babcock.
Babcock up near 192 in the back there.
Yeah, so at that time, those 1-bedroom apartments were going for $600 a month.
They are almost, I think they're close to that now because they're actually, they're like government housing, they are set with the price. They can't go higher,
Good.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, housing costs for young people, I feel for.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, so I need a job. So what I did, going full time Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 I was a bank teller at the main branch. So then I decided on Tuesday night, Thursday night, all day Saturday and all day Sunday, I went and worked as a office clerk and loan officer at Rooms to Go.
At Rooms to Go.
What's that?
Right up on 192?
The furniture store. Yeah. So you know where my bar is? Twisted Rooster.
Yes.
Next to that AutoZone? That used to be Rooms to Go. And I started
now
working
they're out
over
west
there.
now.
Now they are by 95.
Yeah, I said out west.
Yeah.
Now 95.
What was the first building that you saw that was Twisted Rooster? Like when you worked there? What was the first
I didn't work
business?
there.
Oh.
I worked at Rooms to Go, the building next the plaza.
No, what I'm saying is, but you saw that building, Twisted Rooster, right? Was it there at the time?
At that time it was like a Joe's Cafe. Like it was a drive-through.
They had a cafeteria.
And it was a drive-through.
That's cool.
Like I used to drive through there to buy little.
I didn't know it was a drive-through, but I did. I remember
question was
when it
getting
was.
to is
So where my DJ booth is, that was a drive-through.
Oh.
That's where you have that little.
Yeah.
Cover.
God.
How cool
is
is
it-
it looking back, being like, I never knew that was going to be mine one day, and I was going to hang out at the Twisted Rooster.
Yep.
Like looking back.
No, I mean, he's asking
cool.
you, how cool is it now that you look back, you knew the building when, and now you own it. Now it's your building. It's your business. It's your bills that you got to pay.
It feels like, to me, it's a proud moment.
Yeah.
To me, it's like my hard work. What
'Cause now you're
makes
part of the
me
community.
more proud is to see people happy there.
Yeah.
People nonstop will approach me, and genuinely, you can tell them, like, you don't have to come and talk to me about how you feel here or whatnot. And they're like, it's so safe. It's so this. It's thank you for opening. Thank you for having a place for us.
Because you're a
Thank
big
you
part
for
of the
this."
community that you grew up in.
He
Cool.
is.
Like a really big part of it.
He is a very big part of this community because there really aren't any places in this area that open people. I'm gonna call it open people, whether they're bisexual, gay, straight,
Yeah.
does not matter.
Well, even
can
it's
go in and
openly-
feel safe.
It's like the only place here that serves drinks past 9 p.m.
Yeah.
No, there's many places
Come on now.
downtown Melbourne.
Come
I
on
go
now.
to them, but
Come on.
there's the a bunch of them down there. Now sometimes they're too crazy. They are very I don't know. I call
Jockey?
them, yeah. Well, there's a couple of rumors. I don't know if you know this. Down a couple of places down Melbourne, they were roofing people.
Yeah.
That happened. I mean,
Yes.
You gotta get
and
yourself
that's
a cup
nature of the
condom.
beast, the bars, Oh, and the other thing, like you were asking me, and I guess we got sidetracked about why I have security.
well, obviously, I'm thinking it's because of the pulse.
No. So,
No.
well, yes and no. Okay, so A, I want it to be secure. B, you're not allowed to carry any kind of weapon in my bar. I don't care if it's a pocket knife. You put it back in your car or you leave it at the front with security and they'll hand it to you when you leave.
Is your security armed?
The security is not armed because I choose to have unarmed security for a reason, because I don't want people to be threatened. I don't want people to feel that they are being bullied or intimidated.
That guy with a gun on his side. And all that.
I don't want, like, you never know if this crazy, I don't know, this guy would be like, oh yeah, you want to mess with me, and like pull the gun out and bully them. Like, I don't want that fear factor part of it. But can they beat your ass down? Yes, because they don't have a weapon either, because they are scanned at the front, done, and they're always walking around the property and stuff. And if they see any kind of those kind of
people
suspicious
lurking around,
activities and stuff.
I've been in there, and I walked in, and I was patted down, and I'm like, what's this guy doing? I mean, but then
that's because I wanted him to pat you down, darling.
It felt good. No, it was. I understood it after, and they're not looking for anything in your pockets and wallets, and they're just looking for weapons. Obviously, obviously. So and that's a positive, because
yes,
Pulse is a real thing. That 49 people lost their lives.
Correct.
And I knew some straight people who lost their lives. I knew gay people there that lost their lives. And I it's sad to me. You know, you go out for a nice time and you don't come home. You know.
Well, but to me, that's like it's a very, very unfortunate tragedy. To like, you cannot even describe the amount of tragedy that was. But I also want to say that, is any place really safe now? Churches, airports.
You know, you're right about that in America. How is it in India? Do you have this kind of stuff?
I don't know, because like in India, I was not allowed to go to the bars because I was underage.
Right.
So I never saw a bar life.
Do you ever hear anything about shootings and stuff?
There are always locations. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's, if you have people, you're going to have crime. You're going to have generosity. You're going to have charity. You're going to have haters. You're going to have praisers. It's just nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast. I just didn't know how other countries are, because I don't know what the gun laws are in India. Are they strict? I mean, can you own a gun in India?
Yes.
Can anybody own a gun in India?
I think so. I don't know what the law is now.
Right. Okay.
But like here, I can go buy a gun.
Oh no, absolutely. Listen, Europe.
You could too.
No, I cannot.
I bet you could.
I could buy one on the streets.
Yeah.
I can't buy it. If I go right to prison. Look at Kodak.
I know.
Yeah.
I bet you could get a gun though.
Listen, I can get a gun anywhere I want right now. 2 seconds.
He has a very good gun on himself.
I do. Big bazooka. But
what the fuck?
Don't get me going, you. We're still on your story.
Okay.
Your movie.
Yes.
How exciting is it that you have a movie coming out?
Super exciting. And you know what? Okay, so I'll tell you this. You know how when people say you manifest, when you really strongly desire something that is your passion, you pray for it, or whatever you want to call it, right? If it's your destiny, it's going to come finding you. 2 things really opened up my eyes. And one is, for the last 3 years, I was thinking of writing my book, but I didn't know how. I didn't know where to start or what to do. And thanks to Twisted Rooster, my bar, for bringing all these people in. So you can call it, I had manifested this. And I met Peter. And then Peter started talking, and I started talking more. He goes like, you should write a book. And I'm like, I'm not a writer. He goes like, I can give you a ghostwriter. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And that's how it started, and that's how it's talking. I'm like, I did not have to go look for him. It came looking for me, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. Same thing happened with the movie. I always wanted to become an actor. I always wanted to do an acting. And you know what? That's what made me successful in sales presentations that I did before the role I am in for 15 years now with this company. There is a company called Cornerstone. They have this Gonzo Banker Awards. They're like awards for the financial industry. And I got for 2 years in a row Golden Cuffling Awards, which is the best presenter in financial industry in nation for 2 years in a row.
Around the whole country?
Correct.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So
you excelled at whatever you did.
That because I put what I learned, my experience that I had from acting into presenting. And then I started, I'm like, I really wish I could do a movie or do like a show. I had started, and then because of COVID, everything went backlog. I started doing like twisted tales behind the scenes, little clips of me and the drag queens in the dressing room and all the people that talk about you behind your back after you're gone when the doors are closed. And I started doing like this 5-minute clips on YouTube's, and I started throwing that out, but then I didn't.
TikTok.
I know, right? I need to do that, but I don't know how to do all that.
Well, we have that.
Maybe I can hire you.
Yes, we have a market. Well, that's why I says putting here. I'm very particular who we work with. Obviously, Oliva, or I go to your club, so I would put that something of that nature. Where when I represent something, I represent it because I believe in it.
Yeah.
You're doing what you do because you believe in it.
Yep.
You can't act garbage, I call it.
No.
You can't represent I can't represent something I don't do. If I do, it doesn't come out right. It's not right because it's not in me.
You have to believe in it.
Believe in it.
Yes.
And I think you believe in everything you've done so far.
Yes. If I don't, I'm very strong-hearted, stubborn. I'm Aries. So
well, I don't even know what that is. I mean, that's the
Fire
zodiac sign. I don't think. I'm lucky I know my own.
What is it?
It's a Libra, but I have no idea what it means. I do know this, that what he's saying to me is when I love what I do and believe in what I do, I just want to keep doing it and keep doing it, and I won't quit. That's just kind of what you're doing.
And that's what happened with the movie. Like, you know, I guess I was manifesting it without knowing it. And then I met Emmy, and I told you that story, how she started talking. Oh, so by the way, after she found out that my skill set, and she was totally intrigued into it, she went that weekend and changed the entire script to fit my character in as one of the main characters and to move the filming at Twisted Rooster.
I actually saw the trailer, and the trailer had me cracking up. So I just even saw it right here before the show. Okay, Nick, I have a couple more questions. Do you have any questions too?
Not right now, no.
Okay, I have a good question for you. Where do you see, I always ask guests this, where do you see yourself in a year?
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Okay, so let's start short-term roadmap, so to speak. Well, in next year, I would just like to see that I keep on working and increasing the presence of Twisted Rooster through either this movie and also through the book, because my goal in the next 3 to 5 years is to franchise Twisted Rooster.
Yes, I think that's where I'm going to be involved in that.
And
I mean, I love the idea.
Yeah, because like, okay, you know, when you go to like cruise ports, port of calls at cruises, you know, what is the one
Squid
place?
Lips.
Squid Lips. You have Senior Frogs.
Senior Frogs over
those,
in Bahamas. Remember I told you I
Yeah.
had that big thing where I had the bachelor party with John and I, and they
If you
had
don't-
rubber dolls running around. It was so much fun.
If you don't dream big,
That's exactly right. Well,
Why
you
even
know,
dream?
'cause what you're saying is the Twisted Rooster, the open environment, the way it is searched out more than people want to, believe it is. It's not a regular bar. It's a bar that you can be gay or you can be straight, and you can be, and everybody's accepted in it.
Yeah.
And nobody's judged for going in there.
No.
Because most people won't go to a gay bar because, oh, I'm not gay, or I don't want people to know I'm gay, whatever. But if you have a bar that you open, everybody, I told you, John and Laura, Teresa and I, Ray and Jewel, we go in there and we had a lot of fun in there, and we all talk about, let's go back. You and I went there, and I said, Nick, come on, let's go to this place. He goes, what is it?
well, on weekends we have drag shows, and let me tell you, our 80% of our audience is straight folks. Because they love the illusion. They love the live entertainment value behind it. They love the act behind it.
100%.
And it's just, transformation is superb.
That's why I agreed to be made up doing this as
You guys
show
should come
people.
to a drag show this weekend.
This is going to be so funny. When I go to do this, and we're going to do it
Are
soon.
you hitting the runway?
No, I'm not
You
hitting
can't-
any
no,
runways. But
you
when I
can't
go
dress
do
up
this,
and not hit the runway.
I cannot picture myself. But you told me what he's going to do to let the audience know is, and this will come up in a couple more weeks, you're going to have us made up. But one of the people who are making me up is a person with a beard.
Yeah, a beard.
Because how can I look
You could put glitter in
with
it.
a beard?
You could put glitter in it.
You can dye it.
You can
make it
have one of
purple.
those glitter beards.
You can make it purple.
Yeah,
Look,
dude.
I can
Look
show
at you laughing.
pictures. I can show you pictures of some of the beautiful transformation of bearded impersonators.
This has kind of got me a little weird, but I'm going to do it, and Nick's doing it.
It's a form of
He's
art.
going to look cute. He's a cutie. Me, I'm an old, fat, gangster. So how is this guy going to look? I don't have that mannerism.
You don't need to have the mannerism because you just need, it's the art of drag is be who you want to be. Be yourself.
I could dress
Bring
up like
out your inner animal or your anything that you want to be as a fictitious character.
Yeah, but I never thought of myself being a woman or drag is a fictitious. Listen, people say, "Did you ever put on a woman's underwear?" I'll admit, I did. I did once. Did a couple times just to try it, the feel, the silk, the whatever. I just don't have that, that kind of. What are you laughing at? He knows. I'm just such a. I don't know. I consider myself.
You guys should come to a drag show this weekend.
I love drag shows. I've been to drag shows.
I've been to a drag show.
Yeah, we've been
no
there.
Twisted Rooster.
No, never been there.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I don't know what day. This week we're very busy. I don't know what's going. But definitely coming to. Is it every weekend?
Yep. Every Friday we have 2 shows and Saturday 1 show.
And
When do they
is there a
end?
cover charge to get
No,
it?
never a cover.
Oh, so you just walk in, have a few drinks, and that's it?
I don't believe in cover charge at all.
Wow, good for you.
Nope. Because
Did I pay a
that's
cover charge?
No.
Did I pay a minimum drink?
No.
I thought I did.
No, you just were tipping generously.
And that's quite all right. I do that. I believe in workers.
Yeah.
Believe me, I believe in workers. So I'm going to do that because I've been to many, 5, 10 at least drag shows, and they're fun. The people are always jovial.
energy.
Can I call them queens? I don't know what to call
drag
them.
queens.
The queens will come up to us at the bar, and I'll tip them, and it's like fun. It's not. Nobody looks at you.
It's upbeat.
It's not a
high
gay thing
energy.
either.
No, it's.
Is it a gay thing? Do you think, Nick?
What?
Drag queens?
Well, mostly it is. Like, you're not going to find a straight man going to go get in a dress and lip sync at a club.
But they do go. Like you said, most of your audience is straight.
No, watching it.
So what I'm doing is going to be gay.
No, what you're going to be doing is watching if.
No, when they
worried?
make me up,
Why are you so worried?
No, you're not going to be gay. You're just going to be a female impersonator.
Because a lot of female impersonators are not gay.
Well, not necessarily, because there are a lot of people. They just do, like for Halloween, they'll dress up as girls.
You do see a lot of congressmen and people, and they'll come out. And that's one thing I don't like about all our media. They judge somebody right away. You probably see me as a drag queen when we do this, and people go, "Oh, look, he's getting." Doesn't mean anything to me.
No.
You know what it is though? I'm secure in who I am.
Yes.
So is Nick. So is the people around us. And even our friends. We're all secure in who we are. We don't give a shit. I often once asked my friend, very close friends, John and Laura, said, "Can I shock you?" They go, "Larry, you couldn't shock us with anything, you crazy son of a bitch." But it's because we all trust each other. We all are fun together. We all love people, and we love to see people smile.
Yes.
We love to see people have a good time. And whatever that is, I had 2 close friends of mine, old timers, go to New Orleans, which I've never been. And they went during Mardi Gras, and they went into a drag show that the one guy, my Uncle Louie, a mobster, he went in there, and he didn't know it was even a drag show. He's an older guy. And he thought they were beautiful. He kept saying, "Man, look how beautiful this one is." And at the end, they all took off their bottoms, and out comes penises.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, "What?" I mean, and they were gorgeous. You ever see some?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm telling you, there's some.
Oh, yeah.
I have a friend, young, that I think she looks like a woman. Nick, do you think she looks like a woman?
I don't know.
I think so. A friend of ours. and you couldn't tell unless maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm different. I can't tell. I can tell if a guy had a beard. That's a guy. I mean, I don't know women with beards, so that's a guy.
Yeah, but when women dress up, they are called drag kings.
When women dress up as
a
men,
man, and they put beards on.
Do they do that?
Yeah, drag kings.
Do you ever have that at your place?
Yeah, there are a few times the host, bingo host, has been drag king.
So do you have that show ever at your place?
Sometimes. Well, we also have talent contests on Thursdays. So like it's $100 cash prize. And you'll find people that are drag kings, drag queens. You'll have street dancers, live
That's
musicians.
another fun show to
stand-up comedy shows. Yeah.
So do you have like an open mic thing? Do
Yeah.
you know what I thought about in this area? And just to tell you, I know I'm off topic here. I love comedy clubs. Big comedy club. I mean, comedy
Yes.
club. I have a friend who's a national comedian. I can get here anytime I want. So a very close friend of mine. And I told him about, where's there a venue around here? Because he sells tickets all over. And how they work, comedians work, is by... they get a piece of the door or whatever, the ticket sales or something. And he said, we'll do something for you, anything. He's been on my show a few times. He's a great friend. His name's Mike Marino. If you look him up, he's a national comedian, and he travels all over the country, And there's no venue here. They had one at Makoto's.
Oh, yeah.
But they need a venue here, whether it's your venue or something, where they have either an open mic night once a month or twice a month for comedians.
And we used to have that with the dinner show as well. Like, I used to do stand-up comedy nights. I used to, when we did those piano nights, I also did stand-up comedy nights.
And did they not go over? Is that what it was?
It did go over well or whatnot. But then what happened is that after COVID, so many things changed. So we just had to go ahead and refocus on what is bringing people in right now.
Because we'll talk about it off air. I really think an open mic or an open night for comedy.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing around here.
And
if people come to hotels and look, comedy club in the area. If they had yours at Thursday nights, comedy club, come into Twisted Rooster and had a real couple of state and people, it would be great. Yeah. I really believe that.
I want to try it again.
Well, we're going to talk about that. Anyway, anything, Nick, is there anything else you want to know about? You told me where you are in 1 to 3 right now. You want to keep building on your club. And where do you see that's at 5 years, where do you see to it? Are you going to be franchised?
Well, that's my goal.
In 5
years?
Yeah,
we're at 20 now.
Huh?
We're at 20 now.
No, I want to ask, in 5 years, you started already Twisted Rooster franchising it.
Yes.
Correct?
My goal is to start in 3 years.
Okay. So that 3 years, by 5 years, maybe there's 1 or 2 more, whatever, you don't know. And at 20 years, you're now 71 years old.
Correct.
2 years old.
Yes.
71, 72. Mm-hmm. Where are you? Are you retiring? Do you see yourself like that?
I don't think I'll ever retire. I would retire from my job, but I would never retire. But, okay, so I love cruise ships. I love cruising. So I would buy timeshares for residencies to be at the seas and be gone for 3 months around the world. Yeah, there is one, I was looking into it. It's called residencies at the sea or off the sea.
Oh, they buy them for $500,000, $1 million.
1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and then it's like a boutique cruise line, only 400 rooms, but you have everything included, and you go away for 3 months. You'll go from Sydney to Australia.
I do know those, and that is something I thought about once.
Yeah, so
getting
I'll just
something
go
like
out.
that, and there are people they get the paper, they do what they want, they go to restaurants or the clubs on the ship, and it's regular ship, but they have so many suites.
Yeah,
to have a residence.
I read an article that this two old couples, they've been living at sea for 5 years now, and it's been cheaper than retirement homes.
Oh, it's people don't understand that. You don't realize you don't have to buy a car. You don't have to buy this. You don't have to buy this.
But that's what I would do.
They're fun. I don't know how much you'd get sick of it. Maybe not. It depends. I think everything has its cycle.
Because I think at that hour it will be good to be disconnected. from land?
Oh, I trust me. I'm a sea guy. Did you know I'm retired Coast Guard?
Oh my God, no. See,
Yes.
you're like an onion. You just keep on peeling yourself slowly.
Smelly.
Oh, see what he just said?
Spicy, I would say.
See, he's a better guest than you.
I'm a presenter. He's a 26.
Yeah. I agree. Well, everybody, I mean, is there anything you'd like to say to my audience?
Well, I would just, first of all, once again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to the Wild Story and this journey that we have been on. I really, really appreciate you, Larry.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that we met. And I feel like this is just the beginning.
You know, I said that the other day to you. Just you're a great guy, and I loved your energy. I love all that kind of stuff. I'm a fun guy too. I like to do things, and to see what you've accomplished is something I love because I'm a worker, and I love, you know, it's that inside that we can't stop.
Correct.
And I want people to know, where can they get your book?
They can get it on Amazon. Amazon. There's hard copy and paper covers as well. You can also get it on Barnes and Noble online. So
wow, good.
Those two platforms right now are the most happening. And
great.
we are also coming out very soon with ebook on Kindle, and then there's also going to be an audiobook. And the audiobook, I'm recording it myself.
I actually am going to be doing my new book and maybe going back doing Gangster Redemption. It's a project, obviously, and it's
But
a time.
it's well worth it.
That he keeps wanting me to do it. Peter keeps wanting me to do
It's
it.
a good investment, that's for sure.
You know, people want my book. It's a bestseller too,
Yeah.
and it's
I love it.
You know, and it's been out for a while, so I might do that. Obviously, I have my cigar that's going crazy. We just started that, so things that we're all over the place right now, and I love meeting guys like you who are entrepreneurs, who are visionaries, who are people who want to keep going, and I believe your how do I say this? Your idea, maybe, or your concept of franchising the Twisted Roost is a genius idea, because I think more people want to go to places like this, especially off a cruise, or even not even if it's a cruise, in an area that doesn't have a open, friendly. You're making the model work, and you're showing how it can work and make money, and obviously bring certain entertainment in and everything else. And before you know it, you're transforming cities and helping people.
Yeah.
I always say, when you have something nobody has and you can help people, that's the biggest plus in the world. And you are, because you're showing, listen, go live your life.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything about gay. Doesn't have anything to do with sexuality. It has everything to do with going out and having a good time. I've been to his club here, Twisted Roost. It is in Melbourne, Florida, West Melbourne, but Melbourne, Florida, if you Googled it. It's called the Twisted Rooster. And the prices are reasonable. The people are very friendly. We went there, had a few shots. I'm not a big shot guy, but I did pretty good.
You did. You were a good supporter. But yeah, so I really, really appreciate this time. And I also want to just let you know, I'm like, Nick, you're amazing. You know,
thanks.
When I met you, when he introduced me to you at my club, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. So to see our newer generation, blossoming
having fun. Yes.
this beautiful manner. This is great. This is where the future is. So amazing.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say that on there. I don't say it enough. I do say it, and everybody knows we're very close. He's my right hand man. He does a lot with the producing and the stuff. Does he drive me crazy? Yeah, sometimes, but he's great. He really is. And he has.
I think he would be saying the same thing if you were driving him crazy.
I'm sure he is. But you know, I am the boss.
Yes.
No, he's
the mouse.
I'm the mouse. I am the Mickey of this room. He's very good. And
Are you calling me a Jonas brother?
No, you're not the Jonas Brothers yet. But I want to really, of course, Nick knows how much I appreciate him.
Yes.
You, obviously, I think, thank you for coming on.
I love it.
I want people to go check his book out. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You Google it, it'll come up. Obviously, that's how I did it. His movie's coming out. we'll let them know. We'll let people know as well. There will be links in this video to your book. In this video, you can check it out, guys. Look in the description. We're going to have his book where you can get the book and, you know, his show. Again, thank you very much, man. You've been great.
Thank you.
You've been
and
really
you know
good.
what? I just like to leave one tagline that I hope everyone can start using, and that is, I love us.
You know, he said that the other day. We were at his bar, and we're having a drink, and then I'm smoking a cigar. And he goes, I love us. And I just love that saying.
Yep.
Because it's so inclusive.
Yep.
It's showing that you are happy. You, not just I love you, I love us. I love the fact that we're all here having fun, doing things. And it's not a you know, you have to say, no, I love us. You can say it anywhere.
Yeah.
I love us. I love the audience.
Yes,
I love, what we
us.
do. And I think that's a great saying. I hope it catches on. And I'm sure Nick is thinking right now how to do things. All right, everybody, please stay safe. Make good choices. And check his book out.
It's the greatest find yet. Nothing
Platforms.
compares to it.
Have a great day.
But it's
See you
definitely
next
something
show.
you should hear.
Thank you and Happy New Year.
This
Happy
is
New
The
Year.
Real Deal with Larry Lawton.